Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Well, as you can see, I'm not wearing my Christmas shirt, so this is obviously made after Christmas. Not during Christmas Eve at all. But, as promised, blue diamond knife. Nope. Now, if you're very astute, you'll notice that there's a duct tape handle on here. And that is to give me a better grip and purchase on the blade. Because let's face it, kitchen knives really aren't meant to do bottle cutting. But this does have a rather sharp edge. And this being me, only makes it natural that I would do something stupid like this. Now, I'll put a timestamp in the description to so you can skip ahead past my ramblings. But without to-dos, don'ts, and probably shouldn'ts, let's get started. Ooh. Damn! Oh. That is disgustingly clean. The only reason it fell over is because I actually hit it with the flat somehow instead of the actual edge. I mean, this thing was sharp enough to cut through a paper towel. That's not easy, even with a very keen and holy shit, it shaves hair. If I didn't cut this myself, I would have thought it was staged. Huh? What the fuck am I holding in my hand? I cannot make this shit up, my noble outlaws. The bottle cut. What? And armored sweatpants, I'm not pulling the blade out, I'm holding it there. Watch. It cut so cleanly that it suction cupped back together. Here is where the first cut was, and there's the angle of the second cut. This is actually surprising me on how well it's cutting. And I don't think it's dulled at all. To slake my curiosity, that's hard enough to do with a sword, let alone a kitchen knife. Even when I just come in with the most weird ass angle. I purposely aligned it like this, and then you saw me twerk it up. And this shit's happening. And it cross-cut. Well, at this point, I really don't see the point in continuing this cutting session, because this thing as a whole is just ridiculously sharp. And it is great at cutting. I didn't get a chance to cut with the previous set, but I gotta admit, Blue Diamond is impressing me. Now, granted, cutting water bottles and cutting through meat, bone, vegetables, and pretty much any other kind of food-related cutting that you do in a kitchen where you're bashing this very keen edge on a cutting board is very different than slicing and dicing your way through arguably the weakest bottle in the cutting world, the standard 16-ounce water bottle. But these 16-ounce water bottles, while they're the easiest to cut through, they're the hardest to have a standing cut on. And you may be wondering, what, Outlaw, what do you mean by a standing cut? Basically, it's when you cut the bottle like I did pretty much on all the cuts in this video, except for the second cuts, where the bottle stays put on the stand, or at least the bottom portion of the bottle. And you can only get that with extremely keen, sharp edge and good, proper edge alignment. That just goes to show. Blue Diamond. It's actually surprised the hell out of me. I have to take back some of the shit I said about it. Mainly because, like I said, I was kind of peer pressured into doing the previous video of the Blue Diamond kitchen knife. But I can't say anything bad about it now. Now, in terms of its food prep and durability, that's another thing entirely, but that's for another video. So until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai tells all y'all be crazy rednecks, be safe and use your weapons. I'm out. Peace. Yes, I am going to torture test this thing now, just for the hell of it. Hello, my noble outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Knife, glove, wood in the corner of the video. We are actually going to be doing some durability testing. With the wood. The reason I chose this specific stack from Menards was because it had some good batoning pieces. And I think we'll start out small. This is a relatively thin piece. Just seeing which side I want to do this on. Deck is slippery with mold and mildew. I'm going to do it on this side because that section down there is breaking already. So, without further ado, probably shouldn't. In fact, I really know I shouldn't be doing this with a kitchen knife, but that didn't stop the Dutch bushcraft boys. And that's why I got the idea to wear the gloves. I don't really want to lose this wood because I can always burn it. No damage to the knife whatsoever. So we're going to kick it up a notch. Much thicker piece of wood. I'm going to aim right for the middle of it. And I'm going to actually do it down here closer to the hand and the bolster. So 3, 2, 1. It was going. Now, arguably, that got a little thin towards the edge, but I'm also dealing with a drop-off I don't want to have to walk over and pick shit up on. Now, I will say this. Doing it towards the middle of the blade did feel a lot better in my hand than doing it back towards the bolster. And since this is still a significant sized piece of wood, I'm going to actually now do it up towards the tip and see what happens. Not bad. And it's still a very slicey blade as well. Meaning that you can also make quite a few shavings very quickly. Now for argumentatively going insane, but there are also a lot thicker pieces of wood in that bundle. This is argumentatively going way too far and way above what this knife should comfortably be able to do as a torture test, but we're doing it anyways, because I never claimed to be intelligent. Dutch Bushcraft Boys, if you're watching this, I want you to test this knife. Put it through your testing, because the blade itself is still straight. It hasn't bent. And as for the actual condition of the edge, I will be right back. I didn't bother pausing because I was just getting... We are going to see. What is the sorcery that you do? This is non-cheap wood. This is hard, dense wood that you use for fires. And this thing batoned through it and fucking chopped it. And it's still this sharp. Could Blue Diamond have actually made one of the world's strongest kitchen knives? Oh, hey, you know I gotta test this now. You know this thing's gotta go through some real abusive testing. But let's just... Okay. Okay, so it's not the world's best feather sticker, but it can do it. Now we'll cut to Future Outlaw as he's preparing to do something even stupider with this thing. Y'all knew something like this was coming. How? Gloves are needed. This is a kitchen knife. I should not be able to do this with a kitchen knife. Almost lost it there for a minute. Two chops is all this thing is taking. Always wear iPro. Sorry about this. My sister's out here, so now I have to split my attention if she'd stay on the porch. Ooh. Ooh, we got some damage on here. So as we can see, see the edge deflections? Slight bit of jimping on here too. Now honestly, this damage is something that if you had a work sharp or a grinder, or maybe even just a pair of pliers or a hammer and a small anvil, you could get out. Testing paper. How? At this point, you're just daring me to dull you. Okay, it wants to play that game with me? Alright, bet. I will blunt you. Bit of a camera angle change, my noble. That there branch is what I'm going to be chopping this into. And we're going to see if I can blunt it. As soon as I make my way around to it. Ready, my noble outlaws? Get on that porch or you're going inside. Alright. Let's do this. Ha! 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 Well, I definitely think why? How? Why won't you go? How are you sharp? Why won't you go already? Even the damaged part is sharp. What sorcery is this? This is some kind of unholy, demonic being. All the tests I've done today, and it's survived relatively intact. I needed that. Now, for the last test, and I'm actually going to pan over here so I can make sure I'm in camera for this. We saw after the wood splitting how I cut paper, but caveat, this whole portion of the edge right here is non-existent anymore, but the bottom and tip survive. From the tip. No. No! No! Oh! All that choppy and slashy and hacky and batting it like this. It's still this freaking fucking sharp! That's it. I'm calling it. Whatever the hell these Blue Diamond guys are doing to these knives are making them fucking indestructible and undullable. This may be the first time I've ever heard a company claim their knives to be undullable, and it actually works. Like, I am short of smashing this thing into a rock, which is at this point either smashing this thing into a rock or a thick ass piece of metal, is pretty much the only way I can think of to dull this thing. That or folding the edge over. And even that still has portions where it's sharp. The bottom fucking half still shaves. Conclusion of review time coming soon.